2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time Talk with Eagle 3D Streaming. I am the host of today's show, and we have an amazing one today. We have Eirik Murbraech and Bjørnar Moland from Ramboll with us today to talk about some of the amazing things that they're doing with their visualization team within Ramboll. Eirik and Bjørnar, how are you doing today?
Pretty
Thanks.
good.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and thank you for taking some time out of your very busy schedule to join us today. Bjørnar, let's maybe start with you and just to give us a little bit of background, kind of how you got to where you are today so we can sort of have an understanding of your journey.
Yeah. So for me, I actually, it's almost embarrassing to say, but I only had one serious job, and this is this one. So I went straight from school to Ramboll, actually, all back in 2006. So now I've been here for 19 years, actually. So, and I am the visualization lead here in Ramboll, with base in Norway. So, and we are a team of a total of 7 visualization experts working full time with visualization.
Awesome, and thank you for that overview. And Eirik, what about you?
Yeah, haven't been there quite as long as Bjørnar, but I have a degree and background in game development, and back then jobs weren't that many, and it wasn't that easy to get a job as a newly or fresh out of college artist. So I just went between quite a few markets, between animation and bit of simulation, and then I got a job in Ramboll to work in all the markets we do, and it's very interesting to apply game technologies into markets that aren't they could be quite new to it. So that
Yeah.
is really refreshing.
And it's also interesting. And what was the adoption like for game technology within Ramboll? Was there some sort of catalyst that caused that to happen, or was it the interest of you guys in the technology that sort of brought it, or how did that come to be where Unreal Engine was starting to being used?
I think it all started, and I think the main turning point was when Unreal Engine was teasing about Unreal Engine version 5, with nanite technology and all this stuff. So I think that was a real game changer. We did start with version 4, and we started there back in 2020, actually. So our first try was we all have always worked with large scale models. We have existing models stretching for many miles and have big projects placed within these environment models. So our first trial was to get these kind of big models inside a game engine, and it went surprisingly very good. So we did our first Unreal Engine project back in 2020, and it was also around COVID. So we were kind of forced to think new because everything shut down and jobs stopped, and so we took the opportunity to learn more about Unreal Engine and to see the possibilities there.
And what was the gap, if you can remember, that Unreal Engine filled that you couldn't necessarily do in like a Revit or other 3D model or other 3D technology that's commonly used for engineering?
Yeah, so we've been doing this game for 20 years, so we have always been familiar with traditional rendering and creating still images and videos. So, but the real game changer is to offer clients a real-time immersive experience for their projects. So This is something that's, every time we showed a client our scenes in 3D Studio Max, they were overwhelmed with how cool it was. But then again, they just saw, some gray boxes or whatever. But to have a, full quality, high visual in real time is something that's quite mind-blowing even to this day when clients see this. So yeah, that was really the turning point to offer, through pixel streaming as well, and not just some files hand delivered or shared through WeTransfer or whatever. So yeah.
And I guess also, I feel people were pretty impressed by, like, the scale of the data that we could bring in. We had these collaboration web services that were used before, where you can bring in all your designs and the existing geographical data as well. But it was always laggy. It was like flat shaded, and suddenly you had this model that we put up in maybe like a week, because our team already had the pipeline and workflow for getting these large scale data down to an edible format that could be brought in to, let's say, Unreal Engine, and suddenly they can just like drive around, fly around, or whatever, like with these large scale highways and construction sites. And as well with like the vegetation, you can see like actual tree height and how will this affect your projects compared to like civilization and such. So I think it was yeah, maybe an easy crowd to impress in the beginning.
Yeah.
So because our department actually was in the very beginning, it was a map data construction company. So we made maps, digital maps in Norway, and they saw that the road from maps to 3D was very short here in Norway. We are quite fortunate with incredible good map data that's in 3D, so we can order whatever area in all of Norway for existing buildings. We can represent each tree in all of Norway with the correct position and height based from LiDAR data that's available for free in all of Norway. And we also have very good terrain models.
Yeah, and I remember someone telling me that there's LiDAR data for all of Norway. So maybe it was like a natural place for some of this technology to evolve, and it would be helpful because we know that Unreal Engine provides very high fidelity interactive experiences. It would be helpful to sort of understand how your team fits into the overall organization at Ramboll, in terms of, so how are you typically or what data are you typically starting with? And then what are some of the use cases that you're using or that your team is being tasked with?
Yeah, so our department is actually like sort of divided into 3 separate sections, because we have the visualization team, and we have the GIS team, and we have the geomatics. So the geomatic part is the one always delivering the base models for each project within Ramboll normally. So they can always help bring a 3D base model to each project wherever it should be. And the GIS people normally set up, like these ArcGIS platforms for different kind of themed maps produced for each project and analysis. And so we always had a seamless pipeline between all of us. So we're quite fortunate to have those map guys within our department that can always service the stuff we need for the environment model. And so because they have they have this pipeline to take the LiDAR data and extract all of the trees from the point cloud.
Oh, cool.
And then they have these tools to, have a cylinder put for each tree that represent each tree. And then we take those data and through different kind of software like FME, and then we spit out a text file that we read into Unreal Engine. And then we have our build-up library of trees, and we also have available data that saying something about the mix of type of trees within polygons for all of Norway. So we get a really good representation of the environment model here in Norway. So we always at the sort of the beginning of each project and also at the end of each project. But now we're also moving to serve throughout the projects, both with GIS and with these interactive models, because all people in Ramboll involved in the project see the benefits of having access to these interactive models to both to design review and this early phase review, check out early designs, and having it sorted into scenarios we can switch on and off and switch between different variations. And yeah, so we're getting more and more involved within Ramboll projects, and that's good fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, as as the technology continues to be adopted and the use cases expand, I think we'll see even more and more interactive 3D content in an industry that is starting to adopt it, which is really interesting to see. It would also be amazing if you had any projects that you may be able to screen share and just kind of walk us through maybe one of the projects that we're working on just to understand the visual and see the work that you guys are creating.
Yeah, so I'll be happy to share my screen.
Sweet.
So I will now load. Actually, it's a part of a big broad project, but this project isolated is quite small. But this is actually available for everybody on the internet. So the client here, that is one of the biggest, the road, the government road. Help me, Eirik.
No, it's like one of the national road authorities that are in charge of expanding our road network and constructing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So this is actually quite representative for a classic interactive project for us. So we named our own platform Ramboll Interactive. That's the platform we build up in Unreal Engine. But of course, it's all based on Unreal Engine. But we made the UI and all the tools available. So what we normally do when delivering these projects, like back in 2020, we started delivering, the executive files for the clients. But as we see more and more, they never had the computers to run it smoothly, and they also normally the executive files got blocked by IT organizations. So we had to look for pixel streaming. So now we only send the client a link that they can access, maybe with password or whatever. But so yeah, every
Just
client,
to show,
everybody.
Yeah, it just goes to show how important the combination of pixel streaming through Unreal and like a streaming service, how important it is for our work. Because without it, we wouldn't be able to deliver any projects. either we would need to scale them down and optimize them, and it wouldn't be as big as this. And as Bjørnar said, we mostly be stopped by the IT security systems. And with pixel streaming and True Eagle, we're able to share them, and they can bring them along on a laptop or a phone or whatever. And so it makes everything so dynamic and so easy to share. And that has been really important for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a.
Oh,
sorry.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just so this is the typical like environment model, and how big they normally are. We also have models stretching for I think up to 80 or 90 kilometers. So it's quite heavy, and we can actually handle. I think our record is 1.8 million trees.
Wow.
With each tree, representing a million polygon maybe. So it's quite fascinating how much data you can get into this platform.
Yeah, and I have so many questions. And Morteza, also feel free to jump in and ask questions if you'd like. Yeah, or you first, unless you want.
Oh, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I guess let's start with just the environment itself. Right now, you're sort of demonstrating that you're able to change the environment in real time. Can you share anything about how did you approach Sun and Sky? What were some of the challenges? What did you end up doing for Sun and Sky? And why an interactive or dynamic environment's important?
Yeah, so since we are a map company originally, we have always been kind of geeks about having everything representing reality. So everything is always within our coordinate system. You can always read out coordinates wherever you point or wherever your camera is in a model. We had to make sure, so we integrated the ultra dynamic sky plugin to our platform and have it, aligned with real coordinates and how the sun is actually positioned wherever you are in the world. So now for each new project, we just plot in the real coordinates and everything works straight out of the box. So we know that everything is correct.
Cool.
So yeah.
Especially if we're delivering like a building or a zoning plan, we can be certain that, like within certain limits, of course, that the sun angle and shadow casting is an approximation of reality.
Right.
And that is really important for the client as well, or the project, that we're not delivering something that just makes the project look nice, but when it's actually built, it's something else.
Well,
and of course, the night sky is also geographically correct. So you can also look at the star signs if you want to.
This is a cool one. Okay, didn't expect this one.
That is cool. Yeah.
And actually, the moonlight actually also is correct positioned. So I'm not sure where the moon is now. Do we have the moon here? No, not at this time, apparently. Maybe a different month.
And since we're in Norway, and Norway means snow sometimes, have you guys tinkered with adding snow to the environment at all, or?
Yeah, of course. We're just waiting for the right project. Okay. So for now, we only added the northern lights that you can add to the model, but we did some testing with snow, but only on a material level. So whenever it changed to the snow month, the terrain got covered with just a material then. But yeah, it looked kind of cool, but would be real good fun to have it done properly with actually volumetric snow in a model.
And there are like national APIs for weather and previous weather data. So, we can have different snowfalls dependent on that previous history. So we haven't done that yet, but we've been looking into like bringing live data. So like, just reading of traffic data or previous floods. Like, Norway is a very flood prominent country, so there's a lot of flood data. So that's probably something that we want to look more into in the future, to like take it towards an actual digital twin, and not just be like, well, it's a digital twin because it's a copy of the real world, but have proper data being affecting the experience as well. Very interesting. And UDS have very nice snow effects, so you can apply that with a material that builds up snow. Then we're talking.
Awesome. Yeah, and then and I guess those APIs are probably provided by the government or something like this. That's so cool.
Most of them are, yeah.
And Bjørnar, so right now you're sharing an avatar. Can you just talk a little bit about how the avatar selection process? What did you end up going with? Were there certain limitations or certain things? I mean, because I see, she's wearing a hard hat. So can you just talk a little bit what it was like going and building your avatars?
Yeah, so this is Pia. Okay. She's actually designed by Eirik, so you can walk them through it.
Yeah, I guess that's she's a meta-human character. Yeah, so, and a hard hat is a typical engineer out looking at the sites. They need the white Ramboll hard hat, and I just took her the texture for the sweater and just put on a good old Ramboll logo on the back, because we have like the third person default character running around for a while when you're doing this this method of navigation.